everyone, it's Jeannie from A1 Vacuum and Sewing, and I am getting ready to stitch out Kimberbell's final digital dealer pattern for the year. It is the Christmas House gift box. If you get your kit from us, what you're going to be getting is you're going to get everything you need. Everything you need to make the small size and the large size. So there's one that fits into the 5x7 and one that fits into the 8x12. You have all your fabric, all the special little embellishments, and all your stabilizer too. So let's go ahead and get started. It's good for you to have your instructions printed out. I have my little rolling, rotating cutting mat. Sorry, struggling for my words there. These are the colors I'm going to be using. I'm using all glide colors, and I'm going to be using Wildflower, which is my favorite red. I love it so much. I buy the King Cone. Thyme, Pink Lemonade, and Linen. And I kind of, I was struggling with this, but I'm pretty sure that is the green that they used. So I'm going to use the same one. And then I have all my cutting tools right here. Hoops. For the 5x7, you'll need the 5x7. For the base, you'll need the 4x4. For the large house, you'll need the 8x12. And for the base, you're going to need the 4x4 as well. It'll be good to have a good cutting ruler. This is one of my favorites, my Creative Grid 6.5 by 12.5. And a rotary cutter because you're going to be trimming, as well as I'm using this X-Acto tool because we're going to be cutting between our guidelines. So right here, is that what they call them? Your scoring guides. We're going to be cutting in between. Sometimes it's hard to see where your rotary cutter is going to be dropping in. So I'm going to be using my X-Acto too. And I have my design. My design is on a USB already in my machine. And let's really get started this time. So this is what you do in the 8x12. Isn't it just adorable? I haven't gone through and trimmed my threads, but look how cute it is. It's just so sweet. In the bottom, you just kind of hot glue everything. Mine was a little wet still. I just finished this. So super cute. We're going to do the 5x7, which is going to be itty bitty. It's going to be tiny. In class, we'll do the 8x12. And the steps are all exactly the same. So first thing we're going to do is let's go ahead and heat up our iron because we're going to prep some of this fabric. This is for the floor. And so we're going to make a little envelope back and we're going to press these two in half. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then we're going to hoop up our hoop. And we're going to hoop it with your dissolve away. You have a bunch of different stabilizers in your kit, so let's not get them confused. So I'm just going to press these, and these are going to be done. I was like, what could I put in this tiny little gift box? And all I could think is jewelry. Violet's so hard to buy for Christmas. A lot of times we'll just buy her some jewelry. So this is for a floor. We're just going to put that to the side. We're not going to touch that. As far as your stabilizer goes, you are going to have a piece of topper. Don't lose it. You're going to have sticky wash away. Don't lose that either. This is going to be the floor of this box, and this is going to be the main part of the box. This is Peltex, and the reason you have Peltex in your kit and not the Shapeform is because Shapeform, which is Kimberbell's product, is sold out, and it won't be available until April. It's December, so it's a long time to wait, and you're going to see it's going to be fine. This is my wash away. Now you have a piece of wash away, and you have a piece of cutaway. If you look at your kit, the weave on the wash away is going to be tighter. And I feel like cutaway is more plasticky, in my opinion. So you're going to put all of that to the side. We are going to go ahead and just hoop up this piece of wash away in your 5x7 hoop. Let's go ahead and there we go. And we're going to go ahead and put this on our machine. These are the pieces of fabric that we're going to be working with, and you should have 2 pieces of ribbon, 1 for each box. So this one, I like to have my ribbons end cut at an angle, but the 2 that you're going to lay down, you're going to lay down flat So this one, you just want to go ahead and cut it straight. So cut this one straight, and your other end, cut them at an angle because it just looks cuter that way. Let's go on over to our machine. I have been busy today. I made tons of binding. I finished up, I've worked on a tiling scene. I have just been busy. Okay, I'm going to go home to clear this. This was the 8x12. I'm going to go into embroidery, my pocket. I'm on the Luminaire, and I have everything in my lower USB. So I'm going to go right here, Christmas house gift box, embroidery files. I read PES, and I'm doing the 5x7 design, and we're going to stitch this out first. So let's go ahead and do the main design. And we're going to set it. I like to choose my hoop size. I just always choose that. I like to know how much space I have. There's my 5x7. I'm going to say okay. And let's slide the hoop on. And let's get our instructions, because you know what happens. I do the design and then I start to feel cocky and I think, oh, I know this. I don't have to give you any instructions. And then I mess it up. So I'm going to have my handy dandy instructions right next to me. Here we go. And we are going to be on page 5. And so right here, oh, let's get another light because we can. Load the embroidery file, stitch the house base placement line. Okay, for the first couple stitch outs, I'm going to use warm gray 4. And the reason I'm using this is because it's a little darker than linen, but not super dark. So you'll be able to see it, but it's not going to, I found that there was some shadowing, not with this step, but the next step after this. So warm gray 4 to me is a great color. Just go ahead and stitch. This is your placement line, and then we're going to be putting down that bigger piece of Peltex or shape form. I'm going to give it a little shot of spray so it sticks down there. And when I spray, I'm spraying in my dime spray tent right here. Ooh, it's really messy in here. Don't look anywhere but the spray tent. So I'm going to spray it right in here. And the spray that I'm using is Ganold KK100, and it is my favorite. Do not breathe it in. It doesn't smell like it's good for you. And you don't need a lot. That should be good. I'm going to go lay it down on this placement line. Could you see my multi-needle over there? I've been cranking it out. It's that time of year. It's that time of year for tiling scenes and freestanding lace. Okay. With my other one, you're going to see right here, it's your song for the day. It says color doesn't make a difference, but that color is going to show through. I mean, you can't really tell on my other one, but I used green, I used thyme, and you can totally see it. So I want to be able to see it so I can trim. So I'm going to use my warm gray 4 again, because it's dark enough where I'll be able to see the contrast, but not dark enough where it's going to shadow through too badly. So we're going to go ahead and stitch this out. This is going to be a 2-minute stitch out. And then we're going to trim this shape form. And I'm going to use my double curved scissors. It's that time. I think that's like, I love so many Christmas songs. But that's probably got to be in my top, I'm going to call it top 10. And while it's stitching, I am going to clean up a little bit so if the camera goes around, it won't look so messy. right. So we are going to remove the hoop from the machine, trim the shape form, close the tack down line. Be sure not to cut the stitch line. So I'm just going to go ahead and slide it off because there's a lot of innies and outies here. And I'm going to go ahead and trim this. And then look how little and itty bitty this is. This is going to be so cute. I'll have to give it to Patrick and say, you know what this would be perfect for? Jewelry. I was never fancy, but as I've gotten older, I do like nice jewelry. Are you listening, Patrick? I don't think he is. He couldn't hear me. One Christmas, I had him, actually, I think he bought me stuff. He got me a new ring I think it was just last year. Both my wedding ring and my engagement ring broke. So I was just wearing a wedding band that my mom had given me, like my mom's old wedding band. And then Patrick replaced it. Okay, this is a little awkward because there's some innies and outies here. As they get nice and close. The stitch time on the other one, the 8x12, was 40 minutes. And it took a lot longer than 40 minutes because there was, you know, stuff like this that we had to do. But the stitch time on this is only 25 minutes. It's a lot tinier. Okay, try not to cut your stitches. I think I might have just cut mine a little bit, but that's okay too. And you know, today in Reno, it is icky weather, which I actually really like. And I was telling Patrick, I go, I don't even know why I like this icky weather, because I don't really like the icky weather. I just like the idea of snow because my family, they all ski. And someday I'm going to ski again too, when I'm not busy sewing so much. And I just get excited when there's snow. And quite honestly, I love being inside. I'm such a homebody. So it doesn't matter to me what the weather looks like out the window. Okay. We are going to do some tricky stuff now. So let's come on back over to my rotating mat. Whoop. It's my can of KK that I had on the floor because I was spraying down there. Here we go. Look how cute that is. Is that just adorable? This little house. So what they want you to do next is they want you to go ahead and everywhere you see that that dotted line here, here, and here, they want you to cut it here and here. So you can use your rotary cutter, but I find it easier. I don't know about you, but sometimes when I put my rotary cutter down, I can't tell where the cut's starting. So I have this handy dandy, it's called the pen blade. I don't know where I got it, but I love it. It's just an X-Acto knife. And you are going to go ahead and cut right in between here, and try to go right in the middle. And then you're going to cut in between here and here. And you can go a little bit beyond your cut line. So like, you know, 1/8 of an inch, maybe 1/8 of an inch pass, and then right down the middle of both of those. I don't know if it's going to work, but with the other one, I was able to go 1/8 of it. No, that's too much. So I'm just going to put this down so it's kind of in the middle of these two. I think those are called your scoring guidelines. So I'm going to just do that, and I'm just going to go ahead and cut. And you should be going all the way through. Can you see that? Okay, I'm going to do this one over here. And this one. And then we're going to do these two. My ruler doesn't quite fit in here, but it's okay. I'm using the edge. And we're going to do this one. Okay. So they should be cut all the way through. Gorgeous. Next. It's like Wolverine, right? I just like the sound of that. Okay. You have a piece of sticky back. Time to get your sticky back. Let me grab mine. Most likely your piece is folded over. You're going to know because it's wash away and then shiny paper on one side. And I had heck of a time getting my paper peeled off. Ooh, I literally did every single corner. So you're going to peel this off. We're going to take your hoop, which is on the right side, and you're going to flip it over to the wrong side. And we're going to put this down on top of it. So just peel the whole paper off. Throw that backing away, and you are going to cover the whole thing. Make sure you don't have any stray like red threads or anything like this, and you're just going to lay this down and cover the whole back, and that will hold everything in place. Isn't that genius? So we cut through there so we can fold those, but now we went ahead and put that on the back, and you cover the whole back. I was thinking about it. I was like, you know, if you were like trying to save, because you know me, I can't help myself, you could just cut a piece that went like right here on the back of this. You wouldn't have to do that whole thing. But let's just work with what we have. That was this step right here, step 8. Let's go ahead and now we're going to go to step 9, which is going to take us back over to the machine. Dun, 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 dun. You're gonna have that song in your head. You're gonna be like, that darn song is in my head. Well, it's not quite Christmas music time yet. It's beginning. As soon as Thanksgiving hits, I'm ready to listen to Christmas music. All right. This is going to be the placement for the fabric. But you don't need to do it because you know exactly where the fabric's going to go. It's going to go right on top of this. You can stitch it out. It's in aqua. That means placement line. I'm going to skip it. So to skip stitches, I'm going to go to this button where you go minus and plus stitches. And I'm just going to do arrow to the next color, and it should be orange, and it is. I'm going to do that, which is going to be the tack down. You're going to grab one of your bigger pieces of coconut cream fabric. You're not going to see it, but I'm going to put this in my spray box. Well, I mean, I could show it to you, but you don't need to see it. You'll hear it. Do you hear that? You can barely hear the spray coming out. That's how much spray you need. Barely anything. Okay. My fabric is sprayed. I skipped the placement line because it's just going to go right around this. And I'm going to lay down my fabric. Smush it down. And the next step, we're on step number, we just laid this down, right side up, but it's coconut cream, so there's no right or wrong side. And do you see why we didn't want to use a super dark color? So, because you could also put shape flex on the back of this if you wanted, but it didn't call for it. And now it says, stitch the house front tack down, do not trim the fabric. Go ahead and just stitch it down. And then the next step, oops, actually, I just forgot. Color makes a difference right now. So you want to put your linen in. So I'm going to take my warm gray 4 out. Sorry about that. It wouldn't be a video with Jeannie if it was perfect. I'm going to get my red too. My favorite red is Kimberbell's Wildflower. It's so beautiful and I love it so much I bought a king cone. Here we go. And it is going to do the tack down, and we are not going to trim. After we do the tack down, we're going to get our red thread, and we're going to stitch the red work design. Should I bring over my little sample? And that way we could... So next will be all the red work. That's going to be what comes next. so cute. Okay, I'm going to take my thread out. I like to show this once per video. I do not, some people cut their thread here and then they grab it at the needle and pull it out. I just unthread. So I'm just going to go ahead and I don't pull back, but I just unthread behind this step right here to here. And then once you get past number 2, the thread just like falls out. I mean, it just comes out super easily. So that is my preferred way because, God forbid, I waste 10 inches of thread. I think it's just easier too. So I'm going to put in my red thread. Okay. When you are using your thread stand, like right there, here's my thread stand, you do want to use this little clippy clip. So put it in there. Okay. Behind, under, over, number 6, and thread her up. And just go ahead and hit start. You've got 6 minutes of stitching. Let's rethread. For some reason that didn't catch. When my thread for some reason doesn't catch, I'll usually check my bobbin too. I'm going to go back 10 stitches. Oops. Sorry, that was too much. Okay, here we go. If this one doesn't catch, then I'll check my bobbin and make sure my bobbin thread's long enough. Looks fine. Once you're done with this, we're gonna do placement for the door. You can grab your little piece of red fabric. I'm gonna give mine a little shot of spray. All right, this is our placement stitch for the door. Oh, that door is so teeny tiny. I'm gonna lay my big old piece of fabric down. Go ahead and do the tack down. And let's trim. Get that out of the way. And then it's time to do the satin stitch outline. So go ahead. And don't be surprised if your thread shreds at all, that's okay. Because just think about your needle and thread having to go through all that thick Peltex, and the Peltex is rough. So if it shreds, just go ahead and rethread. Okay, next step, we are going to do the window glass placement line. Because the outline is going to be in green, I'm going to change out my thread right now to the green. I always feel like red can be a little bit of an aggressive color, and so I don't really use it for, you know, tack downs unless, or placement stitches or anything like that, unless I'm stitching with red. Let me get my time, and I'm using my scrap of Mylar. I have so many embellishments. I like to hoard the new stuff and use the old stuff first. All right, so first step is going to be the placement line. Just go ahead and hit start. And there's going to be 4 windows. And then I'm going to lay down this old used up piece of Mylar. But it's got so much life left. so itty bitty. I'm just going to lay this down right like this. And that covers everything. You can tape it down. I'm just going to hold it down. The Mylar, the windows look so cute on the little gift house. In our house, on the holidays, we use mostly reusable gift bags and reusable gift boxes. So number one, it makes, hang on, I see a big old fuzzy ripped up thing right there. Let me get that out of there. That happens sometimes, and I'm not worried about it. It happened when I was doing my 8x12 just on the windows, just with this time. So it could, whoops, could just be the thread, and it could be the thread going through that Peltex. Let me go back. 10 stitches plus. Here we go. So this will get added to my stash of reusables. And what I was saying is, for Patrick and I, when we wrap everything, and we wrap everything the night before for the kids and the family, we just throw it in the gift bag and pull the cinch string on the bag. I mean, this will just drop the little gift in there and just tie the bow. After we do this, we're going to pull away the Mylar, and then we'll do the satin stitch outline on the windows. Right, go ahead and pull away that Mylar. I always like to kind of pull in towards the embroidery, and then it's nice to have a pair of tweezers in case something doesn't come up. Like what's this? And then just go ahead and hit start, and it's going to do the satin outline with that same green. I'm using Thyme. cute. Okay. We are, let's see, where are we? Next step. We just finished this step right here. Now we're going to stitch the windowsill and doorstep fill. That's going to be in pink. And I am using Pink Lemonade, which is one of my favorite pinks. Hang on one second. Let me grab it. And after we do this, we are going to put the back piece on. 6, 7. Yep. So I'm going to grab that right now. You should have one more piece of coconut cream that's long and skinny. I'm going to take mine and put it in the spray box and give it a little shot of spray. Perfect. So the directions say to, let me make sure I'm doing this right. We are going to, there's page 6. Remove the hoop from the machine and turn the hoop to the back. So we're going to remove the hoop from the machine. We're going to turn it to the back. And I'm going to grab that piece of fabric. If you don't spray, you are going to want to, make sure your corners are down really, really well. There's my fabric. I'm going to flip it back over again. Slide it back on. We are on step number 25. I just put it on there. Place the remaining house fabric right side up, completely covering the house. Tape in place. Stitch the house back tack down line. We're going to use linen. So let's change our thread out. And linen. Here we go. The submitted stitching. And then we're going to trim once we're done with this. So grab your favorite trimmers. Looks so cute. Okay, we're going to remove the hoop from the machine. On the front of the hoop, trim the fabric close to the stitch line. So let me go ahead. I'm going to slide that out. And we are just going to go ahead and trim it close to the stitch line. This is the front. Oh my goodness. I was trying to do some taping today and the dogs were not, I feel like I have, oh, that wasn't very close, was it? 2 2-year-olds with teeth and that can run really fast and jump. Today, Poppy she wasn't having it. She wanted my attention. She was nipping the back of my legs. I was trying to, what was I doing? I was like stitching out patterns, or I was printing them out. And she wanted some attention. And then the other thing she likes to do these days is she likes to climb into my lap when I'm stitching. And like, I sit in a really small little stool because I just like the space. I don't like having a big chair. And she tries to climb on my lap while I'm stitching. And if I get up, she jumps onto the stool and takes my seat. And Momo he's my other dog. He is just a good boy. And doesn't do he'll just lay and sleep if I'm working, but not Poppy. That's the difference between a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old too. I think. We'll see what Poppy's like at 3. And I can't be mad when she wants to sit in my lap. Cute. Really, really cute. What's this long thread here? I'm just going to get it out of the way now. And that was this step right here. Now it says turn the hoop to the back, trim the fabric close to the stitch line. So now we're going to turn it over. We're going to do the same thing. Let's go ahead and trim it up. I have been dreaming about sushi because I'm going through my treatment right now. My doctor said no sushi. And it's, when you can't have something, it's all you want. I was just sitting here right now thinking about sushi while I was cutting this. I don't know why. If you want to know the honest truth, that's what was going through my head. Okay. We are trimmed. Now it says change the bottom thread to match the top thread, stitch the fold lines. I have a white bobbin in there. I just left the white bobbin in because it's so close to the cream, but if you want to, you could do a matching bobbin of linen. I'm just going to leave mine. It looked totally fine and gorgeous. Go ahead and hit start. These, what it's stitching right now, these are the fold lines. And after it does the fold lines, we're going to stitch the ribbon placement box. Now the ribbon placement box is important because we're not going to go beyond it. I learned that with my last one. Whoops, sorry. So you just have to pay attention. When it's stitching the ribbon placement box, I want you to pay attention to what it looks like and where it goes. Let me show you mine because I was confused when I did it and I went beyond the ribbon placement box. So your ribbon, the end of it should just go right underneath the satin. You're going to see I have a little bit of my ribbon sticking out. On this side, I got a little smarter and I kind of trimmed it back before the satin stitch. So just go ahead and hit start, and I really want you to look at where that ribbon placement box is, because that's as far as you're going to put your ribbon. You're not going to take the ribbon and put it beyond that box. And I know it's hard to see because it's in the cream, but you kind of want to keep it the cream. There's like a little box that it's stitching out. Okay, we're going to take the raw edge, and I'll see if I can pull this close so you can see it. Here, we'll do this one first. Do I have scissors? Do I have something I can show you the box? Here's your ribbon placement box. It goes right here, and here, and here, and here. It's just that little box. It's probably like, I don't know, 1/4 of an inch. Probably not even. You're going to want a piece of tape. I'm using my transport tape because I'm addicted. And I'm going to take the end of my ribbon. You want it to be squared. And I'm going to put it right there. And mine actually doesn't look totally flat. And every little bit counts. What you don't want is for it not to be long enough, right? Like that would be disastrous because you'd have no way to tie it. Okay, I just trimmed this a little bit. Oh, it looks gorgeous, just like that. So I'm probably going 1/8 of an inch into the box, and your tape is gonna go outside the box. Don't tape it down in there. Okay, let's get the other one. Make sure the end is nice and flat and straight. I'm going to put my tape on first. That was smart. Put my tape on first. Sometimes it takes me a little while. And tape it down. There we go. Okay? I know he's not totally straight, but I want my ribbon to be straight. You want your piece of topper next. We're going to put our topper on. It's just a little bitty piece. And we want this, your topper needs to cover, let's just put it kind of like this. And if it has a side that's curling up or curling in, put that down. And now I'm going to put 2 more pieces of tape. And you want to also tape outside the box. You don't want this to... This side doesn't quite reach. I'm just going to tape this one down. Let me put it here. But you don't want it near the edge where the satin stitch is going to go, okay? I'm going to put this piece here. Don't put it where the satin stitch is going to go. And the satin stitch is going to go right around the edge. So I put it in the middle here and outside. And I think we should be good to go. I'm going to slide my hoop back on. This is going to be the majority of your stitching. Just go ahead and hit start. And just make sure this is all set before you walk away. You've got 9 minutes of stitching. Of course we're going to walk away. Make sure that stitch catches your ribbon. That looks good. That one might be a little low. This sorry piece of Mylar. But I can't help it. I can't help but keep it. Like, look at all of this. There's so much good usable Mylar. You know all my dirty secrets. Okay, I'm gonna throw it back in my bin of embellishment. let's see if that one, oh, that one, oh, it's perfect. It's perfect. All right, let it go. 9 minutes of stitching. I'm a little more than halfway done. Okay, and while it is doing that, I'm gonna go hoop up for the second part, which is going to be the floor. So go ahead and get your 4x4 hoop. I mean, it's so itty bitty, it's going to be like a little square here. You could do like a couple of them, do one here, just scoot your stabilizer up. And this is what you're going to need. You're going to need your little piece of Peltex or Shapeform. This is the floor covering, and this is the back of the floor covering. We've already pressed these two pieces. We're going to make a little envelope back. So this is ready to go. Let's get you back over here. Sometimes this thing is a little stiff. There we go. All right, and we are done with the first part. I'm going to slide my other hoop on, but we have a little work to do with that last piece. So this is ready for the back, but let's come on over here. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and remove all the tape and all the stabilizer. The topper, get rid of all that topper. And we're going to trim. We're going to be careful not to cut our ribbon off. That's something I would totally do. All right. So you can just take a little pair of scissors, and it says to trim 1/8 of an inch. I get close because it's easier. The closer you get, the easier it is to. Don't cut the stitches. If you feel like you're cutting stitches, then give yourself that full 1/8 of an inch. I know where my stitches are and where they're not. Then you're going to take a cotton swab. Okay, be careful with the ribbon here. Fold it all the way forward. That's like, you know, when I do the gift pockets, I feel like the first time I do a gift pocket, if I haven't done one in a while, I always cut off the top diagonal. I don't know if anyone's done that before, but it would be just like me to cut that ribbon off. And you can feel it. You could feel if if you're going through the stitches, you'll feel that. You'll feel thicker. Okay, you're going to take a wet cotton swab, and you're going to just kind of rub it against these edges until all of this excess wash away is gone. But that is how you trim that piece up. Let's go ahead and let's stitch out. I'm going to grab these pieces right here that we prepped earlier, and we are going to stitch the floor of our gift box right now. So let's load our design first. Oop, slid my hoop on. Home and embroidery. Let's go to the pocket. I'm going to my bottom USB because that's where I put my design. There's my gift houses. We're going embroidery files. I am PES, and we're doing the 5x7. There's my floor right there. Go ahead and select your design set. I am using a 4x4 hoop right now, so I'm just going to go ahead and choose that. Say okay. Look how itty bitty that is. Let's say embroidery, and if I wanted to, I could scoot it up to the top, but I'm just going to throw away this piece when I'm done. I know that's wasteful of me. Okay, so let's slide that on. Let's see what they have for recommendations right here. Light mesh cutaway. I'm just going to leave my linen in there because that's what I'm going to be using to stitch. So I know it's going to be hard for you to see. And here's my piece of Peltex. I'm just going to hold it down. Oh, he's tiny. He's like, I don't even know if he's 2 inches by 2 inches. Probably like 1 3/4 inches. So there's my placement line. I know it's hard for you to see. It says change the bobbin thread to a neutral color and stitch the floor base placement line. I have a neutral color, just the white. So I'm just going to make sure that I'm covering everything. Looks good. Now we're going to do the tack down. So stitch the floor base tack down line, and then we're going to trim. So let's go ahead and trim that shape form or the Peltex, whatever you're using. I'm going to pull it towards me just a little bit. Let me get this out of my way a little bit too so I can see. Next step, it says stitch the floor placement line. So go ahead and it's going to go a little bit outside of that, like, I don't know, 1/8 of an inch. I'm going to give this a shot of spray. I'm going to get rid of that thread though. I know it's a little hard to see because I'm using the linen, but I don't want any shadowing of some dark thread through there. So we're going to go ahead and lay this down. Smooth it out and stitch the floor tack down line. So now it's doing the tack down, and then we're going to lay this down. So we're going to lay this down. It wants you to overlap it about 1/2 inch, just like that. Fold sides in, not out. Fold sides in, overlap it about 1/2 inch. We're going to lay this down right on top of that. Okay, let's go ahead and put it down. I'm not even going to tape it. However, I am going to slow it down when it comes over here on the right-hand side. This side is just going to go right over that fold. You don't have to worry about it. Here we do. I'm stopping it. I'm going to put my foot up. I'm going to lay that down, put my foot back down, and stitch. And that is your final outline stitch. We're going to remove the project from the hoop. Let's go ahead and take it off. Let's come on over here with our instructions. Okay, here we go. All right. So we're going to take it out of the hoop. It wants us to trim to 1/8 of an inch away from the stitch line. Let's get this. Where's my other rotary cutter? Hang on. Okay, we're going to go 1/8 of an inch from that stitch line. It's so tiny. And I still haven't rinsed my wash away off of that. So I'll pause the video because I'm going to take my stuff to the bathroom. Okay. He's trimmed up. He should look just like this. And now they want you to trim those corners even a little bit more. Don't get too close. But you want to reduce that bulk a little bit. Oh my goodness. Pieces are flying around my room. Okay, so it looks just like that. I'm going to turn. This is really tiny, so be gentle with this. You don't want to pop the stitches. I'm going to turn. Poke your corners before you turn again, okay? So we're going to turn. I'm going to grab this, and I'm very gently going to poke those corners out. Okay, then you turn the other side. If you turn this side, it's going to be almost impossible to get to those corners. So you turn one side, poke your corners, and then turn the other side and poke your corners. There's 2 folds. You poke your corners as you go. Be gentle. We are almost ready to put this all together. That is the floor, and you're going to have this side up. This is going to be the bottom side. So I'm going to pause the video right now because I'm going to take this to the bathroom and I'm going to get rid of all that dissolve away, and then we'll finish putting this together. Okay, if you have a glue gun, you want to heat it up now. And I like to use warm water. So I'll wet my Q-tip, warm water, and I just rub the edge. And I just take it like this, and I rub it here too, and I swing it around, and I rub it some more, and I get some more warm water on here, and I wet it until that wash away is pretty much gone. So normally I would let this dry, but I do want to finish the video. So, you know, with my last one, I took a hairdryer to it. But for this, I'm just going to do it. So you have a little flap right here that comes out. We're going to put glue right along the edge. And these should fold nice and easily because we prepped it earlier. And this is just a little itty bitty. So we're going to put some glue right here on this outer edge. Okay. I'm just going to fold everything. Make sure everything looks good. And then I'm going to eyeball these edges to make sure they're even. And we're going to go ahead and glue that edge right there. Okay. So he's already folded and ready to go. How's my hot glue gun? This hot glue gun is probably like 20 years old. I've had it forever. He's still heating up. Okay, he's ready. Pause the video while he got all hot. And you can use fabric glue if you want. You don't have to use a glue gun, but I love glue guns. It's like my glue of choice. Okay, let's see. Let's get him to stick. Oh, and does he not want to stick because my fabric's wet? Okay, hang on. Maybe I just did that a little too slow. Here we go. Try that again. Think we got it this time. There we go. All right, now we're going to glue the bottom on. So this is the part that you're going to see. So if you're looking down into your box, you want the one piece to be showing. This is going to be your base, the little envelope. And so I just did this, and I did one side at a time. And I'm going to fold them just to get them like ready to go. So let's go ahead and tease them into place. So they will be accepting of the floor. All right, here we go. One at a time. Oh, did you see that? I almost did it upside down. There's one side, and it's gorgeous. I like to put it down like this and push that edge from the top. Okay, let's do the next one. I'm going to do this one over here, the opposite one. Perfect. Do this one next. So cute. Okay, last side. Sushi. I tried to order sushi, and I said, Patrick, it's fine. I'll just order the cooked stuff. And that's the whole issue, right? And then he said there's cross-contamination. So that I wasn't even allowed, that he was sure they're using the same. He has to be so sensible all the time. Oh my goodness. Is this just the sweetest little thing you've ever seen? Okay, and now you have your ribbon. You're just going to tie it. Whoop. Grab that ribbon. I find that if you pull it this way, you can get it closer than if you pull it this way. So I'm just going to go ahead and pull it as tight as I can. And then I'm going to tie the cutest bow ever. And I'm going to go show it to Patrick and tell Patrick it's the perfect size for jewelry. Whoop. And there is your little gift box house. This is the mommy and this is the baby. And I hope you enjoyed that. And I hope you come stitch with us. I think we're doing our Zoom December 8th, if I recall correctly. And we're going to be doing the big size. Happy holidays.